I'm insane, motherfuckers. You guys thought I was done tonight. No. After talking about LeBron James for a good 15 minutes in my NBA and my WWE Money in the Bank 2016 review, it's now time to talk about the NBA Finals. I was planning on doing 2 separate videos tomorrow and all that other stuff, talking about why did the Warriors lose and why the Cavs won, and then do NBA stuff. But it turns out that now I'm here live talking to you guys again about the NBA Finals 2016. LeBron James wins and the Cavaliers win. Cleveland, Believeland no more. You guys are finally champions in the sports world. The 53-year-old drought is over. No more talking about those Paul Brown Cleveland Browns. It's time to talk about the king, LeBron James. First off, 3 notes before I start this video. Number 1, I had an injury at work. I'm okay. Number 2, it's hot in California. I'm sweating. Deal fucking with it. Number 3, if you have any thoughts about LeBron James and you want to come on to the Google Hangouts just for a quick second, not to just take over my show or anything, but if you have any thoughts, tweet me at ChaseAuber68 and I'll add you when the time is right, and you can come in and you can tell the audience what you thought about LeBron James, NBA Finals, whatever. It doesn't matter. So NBA Finals 2016, but I'm not alone here. I have my good friend who considered Monte Ellis to be the 9th best player in 2016, generic minority.
What's up? I don't know. I thought Monte Ellis was going to do great, and then he wound up disappointing me and making me look like a crazy person in front of you.
Yeah, but we both had who at number 1, generic minority at the start of the season?
We said LeBron James, but we really were saying the Brow was going to be number 1.
Yeah, we did say that the Brow could take over. We're wrong with that prediction, but another Kentucky prospect for my Timberwolves could take over. I mean, the big cat, Karl Anthony Towns. But we're not here to talk about the Timberwolves or Monte Ellis or any of these other guys. We're here to talk about 2 teams. The NBA Finals 2016, the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers, 7-game series. Now, generic minority, you've watched a lot of basketball, and I just want to know, overall, looking at this series, what do you think of it as a whole? Like, do you think this was a good series, a bad series, a great one? Like, what do you think of this series as a whole, just looking at it? Someone asked you, hey, what do you think about the 2016 NBA Finals? What would you say about the series?
I would say that this was a great series for 2 reasons. 1, it proved that LeBron James isn't just some chump people can write off. And 2, it proved why Steph Curry should not have been a unanimous MVP, because he was a pedestrian the entire playoffs. Ever since he got beat down by the Thunders, he has just been a passerby in the playoffs. And much like it's not uncommon for a star player to have a lot of good pieces around him. That was Jordan's whole shtick, was I have really good people around me who can bail me out when I'm not doing good. But everyone, keeps saying how LeBron can't perform without he needs Wade, he needs Bosh, he needs to stack up stars. He's playing with a team of all of them are pretty decent players, not the best. They're not going to blow you away, but he's got a good player in Kyrie, an okay player in Kevin Love. But he still managed to do it because your unanimous MVP was a passerby in their history-setting season. So I thought it was a great series.
For me personally, I felt that this series was not like, it's great if you just look at it from LeBron's perspective. Like wow, what magnificence from LeBron James. But if you look at it as a whole, I felt this series was kind of weak, to be honest. I don't think it's as good as San Antonio and Miami few years back, not the one where San Antonio won, but when Ray Allen hit that crazy ass 3 and stuff like that. I felt that this series was way too much blowouts, not a lot of excitement. Like the first 2 games, blowout city in Golden State. Game 3, blowout city in Cleveland. Game 4, close, and then later on, Golden State pulls away. Game 5, Draymond was suspended. Game 6, Cleveland blew them out, and then Game 7 was a really good game, great game. If I could say so. A lot of missed baskets near the end for sure, but still, it was a great game. I was on the edge of my seat wondering who the fuck is going to finally make a shot and change the series. So anyways, we're here to talk about why the Cleveland Cavaliers and why the Golden State Warriors lost. Once again, if you guys want to join in this Google Hangout and give your 2 cents, you're more than welcome to. Just give me a hit up on Twitter at ChaseAuber68, and you can give your quick little rapid thoughts and stuff like that about it, just as long as you're not trying to come in here and take over my channel, because I'm LeBron in this situation. But to counteract one point you made, and well, you didn't really make this point, but people say this about LeBron and stuff like that, he has to have a stacked team. Look, ever since like 2008, this has been the era of super teams. Super teams are needed to win NBA championships nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how the game is going right now. Teams are not really building up. You got to have a super team. Like the San Antonio Spurs. They went out and done an unspurs-like thing. They got LaMarcus Aldridge. So not only do you have Kawhi Leonard, who's possibly a top 10 player today, but you also got LMA, who could be a top 10 player as well. You look at Golden State, they have top 10 players in Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry. OKC has top 5 players in Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. That's just how the league is. You need those top 25 players on your roster. You need a big 3. You need a big 2. Whatever fits your system. Whatever helps get those glue guys. That's what's going to help you win these games. It's not just hey, like if you can build it from the draft, great. You're building it from the draft, like the Portland Trailblazers did with Lillard and McCollum. They have those two Bamas, and McCollum's on a cheap deal. Lillard, he's going to get paid, and I'm pretty sure McCollum's going to get paid. But as long as you can build around them, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. So really, when people talk about like with LeBron James, especially his legacy, talk about, well, he's always been on a stacked team. Well, it's like, yeah, but what about Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce? Are their legacies hurt because they form a big 3 in Boston? What about Kobe? Is Kobe's legacy hurt because he had Paul Gasol with him? A really good player at that time.
Yep. I mean, I don't know. People are crazy, man. Like there hasn't been I can't even think. Obviously, we weren't even born since the days of like a single man carrying a team all the way through the season into the playoffs. Like even since Jordan, he couldn't do it without Scottie Pippen or Steve Kerr or Dennis Rodman. Like he couldn't do it when he first started in the league. I mean, he had George Gervin on his team and he couldn't do it, So I don't understand this logic of, it's only a problem when LeBron has to stack stars. When the Miami Big 3 was created in response to the Boston Big 3. So that just blows my mind.
Because LeBron was trying to get over that hurdle, the Boston Big 3.
And then you had San Antonio, who he got swept by, and he felt bad. But he was like, you know what? I can't handle that. I can't handle being swept like that again. I can't get guys here to Cleveland. I got to go somewhere else so I can get mine. And I'm not even – when he left Cleveland, obviously I'm from New York City, so I'm a diehard Knicks fan. I was like, please, 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 please go to the Knicks. Please, please, please leave Carmelo. But – he went to Miami, and I was totally behind everything that they were doing there. And I'm a LeBron James fan, so I was behind him coming back to Cleveland to finally win one. I'm glad he finally won one there. I don't know. People just are very, one-sided. There's no in between. You got to understand that it's not as simple as just being there are no more, Will Chamberlains. There are no more Bill Russells. There are no more. This isn't, you can just have a big, tall black guy and a bunch of this isn't the Harlem Globetrotters versus the Generals. This isn't a joke game. You need multiple players who can do different things all over the court instead, not just one guy. LeBron James is just one man, and you can't expect him to just win it all because people say how good he is. He is good. He's great, but he's still one man. Jordan didn't win it alone. Kobe didn't win it alone. Tim Duncan doesn't win it alone. So I don't understand why everyone's mad.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone's mad. Good. I like people say, well, Chase, you make fun of LeBron James. You must hate him. No, I make fun of the thing that bugs me about LeBron James is when this guy's built like a Mack truck and he's flying across the court like he's fucking 200 pounds soaking wet. I hate when he always goes to the referee. It's like, hey, you can't be doing that, man. And he's always bitching and moaning at the referee. I don't like that from LeBron. It's annoying as fuck. It's like, you're the best player. Just show it. Just show up and do it. But when LeBron James is going, he's going. So anyways, we're here to talk about why the Cleveland Cavaliers won this NBA Finals, and we're going to talk about that. Once again, if you want to give your 2 cents, hit me up on Twitter at ChaseAuber68. I'll send you the link, and you're more than welcome to join us to talk about the NBA Finals, as long as you have a working microphone and you're not here to take over on my channel. Anyways, LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers, why they won in this championship is because Tyronn Lue made the good coaching decisions that he did. That's one of the big reasons they did. Because, yes, LeBron James coming back, playing like attacking LeBron James, that is a big deal, and I'll get to that a little bit later on. But Tyronn Lue, knowing that, hey, Kevin Love, he is a mismatch with the Warriors, and not in a good way. He is a bad business for us against the Golden State Warriors. And really, to be honest here, if Kevin Love did not suffer that concussion, I honestly think this series would have gone a different way. I honestly think that this series, the Warriors could have won. But it was because Kevin Love suffered that concussion, and Tyronn Lue had to make a coaching change, and the coaching change worked. He brought Richard Jefferson off the bench. He found out Dellavedova was not being useful at all, and so he put in Mo Williams instead. You know, he found some use for guys like Dante Jones. So the coaching adjustments by Tyronn Lue and just doing what he did tonight was whenever the Warriors were on fire or going on a run, right away he would just call for a timeout. Just call for a timeout. Like, no, you guys are not going to keep up this momentum. I'm not going to let you. I'm calling a timeout right now. Tyronn Lue did a good job because after, game 2, oh, my God, the memes were going crazy. LeBron going back to South Beach, like running into the ocean and stuff like that. LeBron James calling Dwayne Wade saying he misses him and stuff like that,
Hey, silly. How's that cap space out in Miami?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like so it's just that, LeBron, he won, but Tyronn Lue's coaching is a big reason why the Cavs won. Do you agree with me on that it was Ty Lue's coaching was a big reason for that, or do you disagree with that?
No, I have to agree with that because when he was put in a situation with a lot of pressure on him. I mean, this guy is mostly known for being the guy that Allen Iverson stepped over, and when you come off something like that, and you're put in the situation where you're like, okay, I now have to step up as head coach. Okay, Kevin Love is a bad matchup here. Draymond Green is eating him alive. All these people are eating him alive out here. He got hurt. Well, here's an opportunity, and let's run a type of ball that LeBron is used to running in Miami, which is a lot of small ball. You have these guys, these veterans on the team. You have these guys that are useful. Dellavedova is, I don't know why he was smiling so much in the Finals MVP. He's that I seen the best picture ever. It was a picture of Kevin Love, and it should have had Dellavedova next to it too, which is it was Kevin Love smiling and saying that when you're that kid in the group that didn't do anything but still got an A+, it's like that's with Dellavedova. It's like you didn't do anything. He didn't do anything last year, and he still got an A+. But I think Tyronn Lue's decisions while coaching were not necessarily perfect, but they worked, and he stepped up in a high-pressure situation. He could have just as easily failed, but he didn't. So now he's stepping over Steve Kerr, making Steve Kerr look ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Steve Kerr, did tremendous his first year with Golden State. And, that's what Cleveland fans have been saying all along was that, hey, our team, if they're healthy, we can win this series. But the thing was, what I was saying is I don't care if your team's healthy. Your team healthy will help you. But the thing that you guys need to understand, the way you're going to win this series, and this is a big reason why Cleveland won this series too, is LeBron James stepping up and playing like the greatest. Not LeBron James passing the basketball, trying to make everyone look good, trying to make everyone play better. Not that shit. That shit ain't going to fly. That shit ain't going to make you better all the fucking time. It isn't.
No.
The LeBron James going to the basket, just freaking going for the layups. I don't care how much he's percentage-wise. Those are all for these fucking losers who care about that. I'm talking about W's. Getting those W's, taking over when the game needs to be taken over, going into the post, putting that big old booty in the back of whoever he's facing, and then just turning it around and finger rolling it in. LeBron James is confident in his jumper and taking these jump shots, even though he's not a good jump shooter, just takes them with confidence. That's the LeBron James that'll win you a championship, because if LeBron James is in attack mode and he's tiring out Iguodala and he's tiring out Draymond Green and he's tiring out Harrison Barnes, and he's making them huff and puff because they're just like, God damn, this big body's on us. It gives out openings to guys like Kyrie Irving. It gives out openings to guys like Kevin Love and J.R. Smith, Amon Shumpert. The list can go on and on with all the guys that LeBron James has. It gives out openings. And I told people, at the start of the series, people asked me, do you think the Warriors can win this series easily? And I said, yeah, they can. And then say, what about the Cavs? Do you give them any chance? I'm like, oh, yeah, Cleveland can win. They took them to game 6 when they were unhealthy. LeBron James just needs to do what he did last year, and he'll be fine. They'll win. No problem. Yeah, they can definitely win the series. I wasn't writing Cleveland off. I just couldn't believe that Golden State did this. Like, this is as bad as Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers at the Super Bowl this year. They had all this momentum, 3-1, and LeBron James just said, oh, Steph Curry, greatest player right now? No, that's still my title. He's still sitting on the throne. He's still the best in the NBA, and it's LeBron James's play is the reason why the Cleveland Cavaliers won. LeBron James, the way he played, the way he controlled those last 3 games is the reason why he won.
Yep. LeBron James is one of those rare players where you're like, kind of like not necessarily rare, but one of those players where it's like, put that ball in that man's hands and LeBron go put in work. He's been browbeat over the past couple of years. People start getting on like he's a ball hog and it's all about him, blah, 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 which are things that never come off from LeBron James at all. He never says or he never gives off an air of that kind of thing. It's just that he's a dominant player. And when he's playing, look at the rest of the small forwards in the league. They all play small forwards, even power forwards. I like I like Anthony Davis as much as the next guy, but he's not the toughest dude when you get it down in the paint. Neither is like Porzingis. Neither is Kevin Durant. Like these guys are kind of going in weak. Then they don't assault the paint the way they should. I think if Kevin Durant played like how LeBron plays, which is just straight up assaulting people in the paint and then leaving other guys to be open. And when everyone has to kind of bear down on him, that's where teams like that succeed when you have a small forward like that. So LeBron James did that. He came in and he dominated. He stomped on these guys, these small guys who just sit around jacking up threes all day. He said, if you're going to just jack up threes all day, I got guys to guard you on the perimeter. What you got in the paint? You got, Iggy is hurt. You got Bogut is hurt. Yeah, Draymond Green, he can shoot up a 3, and that's great for him. But like he can't compete with me in the paint like that. It's like that's everything that Cleveland is. But that's everything. Anytime LeBron is on any team, even when he was on Miami, if he comes out there and he's firing on all cylinders, you cannot stop him. It's just You can't do it. It's not possible. You can try whatever. The only way to stop him is if he gets hurt. And even in times where you've seen him, he falls down and he looks like he's hurt. He comes back in. If it's not like in the next few minutes, and it's in the next quarter, and he's running roughshod over everybody. This is what LeBron James always needs to do. Now I understand that throughout the season, that's hard to do because you don't want to be tired and beat down. But I pointed to something to someone online a while ago was that they swept the first 2 teams that they played. LeBron James was not tired. I was not expecting Cleveland to be down the way they were. I was expecting them to stay in it. But I always had the confidence that Cleveland could win only because look at what happened to Golden State. They were beat down in the conference finals. They got beat down even though they managed to win, and LeBron James was just going to come in and beat them down again. So that's just how the dice roll. When you have LeBron James doing what he does, which is playing pretty much every position out on court and dominating people, you can't stop a team that's led by him like that.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just stop that man. That man is just a beast. He's a monster. And the thing is too, is like I said, when LeBron James is dominating, it helps because Kyrie Irving, he's another big reason why Cleveland won. He made that 3-point shot, which pretty much put the dagger in Golden State Warriors fans' hearts, man. When Kyrie hit that 3-point shot, like first it was LeBron James's amazing fucking chase down block, and when he blocked Iguodala, that was crazy enough. But then when Kyrie got that shot 1-on-1 with Klay Thompson, with Stephen Curry, 1-on-1 with Stephen Curry. Why was Steph Curry on him? I do not know. Klay Thompson should have been on that Bama. Stephen Curry, no. Stephen Curry is not known for his defense. Yeah, he led the league in steals, but that's because some people would make bad passes because Draymond Green would go into the paint and everything like that. It's a whole different story the regular season. Klay Thompson is the best perimeter defender on the Golden State Warriors. Why isn't he on Kyrie Irving? Why is Stephen Curry on Kyrie Irving? I said this before, and I'll say it again. I tweeted it. Kyrie Irving is the best one-on-one player in the NBA. No one can stop this guy playing one-on-one. You go one-on-one with Kyrie Irving, he will destroy you. Does that mean he's the best team player in the NBA? No. I feel Kyrie Irving, the time Kyrie Irving will become unstoppable is when Kyrie Irving can make his own passes. Because right now, the passes that you see Kyrie Irving make, these are passes that LeBron James are telling him to do. These are passes that LeBron James tells Kyrie, this is what you need to do in this situation. When Kyrie Irving learns that for himself, and he says to himself, that's what I need to do, that's when Kyrie Irving will become the most dominant point guard in today's game. He's good. I'm not saying Kyrie Irving's bad, but I still think Steph, I know a lot of people are going to think I'm crazy for saying Steph is still a better player. I still think that Russell Westbrook's a better player. I still think CP3 is a better player. Definitely. That's just my opinion. But one-on-one offensively, you cannot stop Kyrie Irving. When he's on, he's on. And the thing that gets him on is when LeBron James is doing well, because when he sees big brother LeBron just dominating the paint, doing all this stuff and taking over, he wants to take over because he's a competitor. He's like, I'm not going to let you show me up. LeBron, you left us. I try to carry this team while you left us. Let me show you what I can do. But once Kyrie Irving makes those passes, once he learns how to make those passes, he's going to be dominant. But Kyrie Irving, another big reason, showed up very, very big for the Cleveland Cavaliers, especially in Game 5 and also tonight in Game 7. He just gets on these runs. He's a light switch, man. You turn him on, he's dominant. When you turn him off, he can just disappear. But, man, when he's on, dude, he's on. He's one of the most fun players to watch. He's like Russell Westbrook. When you see Russell Westbrook's on, you're like, God damn, this dude's on.
Yep. Yeah, no, definitely. 110% agree with everything you said about Kyrie. I was never a big Steph Curry fan. Like, even from when he was first in the league, I was like, I like his, he's got decent handles. He's a good shooter. I didn't think I think Steph Curry, and this may sound crazy and you may disagree, I think Steph Curry is a glorified James Harden. Like, he's a fair amount better on defense than James Harden is. But a lot of times when they have all those Shaq in the full moments, it's James Harden in the paint. And it's like, why would he be in there? But when you get down to brass tacks, like, they play a very similar style of game. And I think that Kyrie he's not a good a shooter. He's not a prolific scorer like Steph is, but I think overall he's better for a team. The only reason why Kyrie isn't better in a lot of people's eyes is because he has to play backseat to LeBron James. If he didn't have to play backseat to LeBron James, and maybe he had like different players on his team or something like that, say if he even still had Kevin Love on his team, he might be considered a different type of player. But like you said, he waits for LeBron James to kind of tell him what he should be doing, when as a point guard, he should just be doing it on his own. He should have the core vision. He should have the IQ to know to do it himself. But, it's his big brother. You listen to your big brother. My big brother listens to me, even though I'm hardly ever right. So I understand the reasons why Kyrie is put in the position that he is. You're playing with LeBron James. You get told by LeBron, do what I say. You get told by the coaching staff, do what LeBron says. You get told by the other players on the team, do what LeBron says. So he got beaten in that position. But like you said, when he's on, he's so fire. And one-on-one, the only matchup for him one-on-one is Russell Westbrook, just because Westbrook has enough like lateral quickness and good footwork. You dying over there, Chase? You're like...
I'm sweating. I'm just sweating, man. I'm trying to wipe it off so I don't look like a bum on camera. I don't want to get the KG jersey ruined, man. Don't want to get the Kevin Garnett jersey ruined. But he's just so good one-on-one. It's just amazing to me. Another big reason why the Cavs won, and I know everyone's going to be all like, he wasn't a big reason, but I thought he was. Tristan Thompson. I think Tristan Thompson was another big reason why the Cavaliers won this series. Not like the most important reason, but I think he was a big reason why they won. Because, last year in the NBA Finals, this guy was killing it on the offensive boards. And this year, again, he was killing it on the offensive boards. But, we just didn't see intensity from Tristan Thompson. And in the last 3 games, he showed him some intensity. Is he still worth the money he's getting paid? Absolutely fucking not. Ooh. He's not worth the money he's being paid. Not at all. I don't think he's worth $82 million. No. But Tristan Thompson is a big reason, man. The hustle plays, and especially when the Warriors, especially want to go to Hacka Thompson. They thought, no, we can just go to Hacka Thompson. He sucks at the free throw line. He hit the free throws when they mattered. It's like what Shaquille O'Neal says, I hit the free throws when they matter. Tristan Thompson hit his free throws when they mattered. He hit those shots when they mattered the most. And Tristan Thompson was a big reason, even when Bogut, and everyone's going to be like, Andrew Bogut. And we'll get to why the Warriors lost the series in a minute, because it's not just because of Andrew Bogut's injury why they lost the series. There's a bunch of other different factors. But Tristan Thompson was a huge reason, being able to crash those boards, being able to get opportunities. He's just a hustle type of player. And you need those type of players in the NBA championship. You need those type of people. Those guys that are just there to hustle it up and freaking play for every ball. And that's what Tristan Thompson does. And so really, to be honest here, if anyone doesn't think Tristan Thompson deserves credit for what he did, he does. He does deserve credit for what he did. He did a really good job. That's all I really got to say about it. Tristan Thompson was a big reason.
Definitely. Tristan Thompson definitely stepped up in a time where he needed to step up. Doris Burke, when she was talking to him after the game, said, you were just willing to take the role of doing the dirty work. I put him akin to a not as prolific as a scorer, but kind of like similar to like Dwight Howard, where it's like he's just gonna bang down low, kind of like a Pau Gasol-ish, kind of Andrew Bynum. Hopefully he doesn't go the injury routes of those the two of those guys, but not worth the money he's getting paid, but definitely worth a contract with Cleveland. But LeBron wanted him back, so what are you gonna do? I don't know. I think that there's so many like so many factors that go into Cleveland, and it was their guys. This is what they needed. This is what they kind of missed out on last year, which is the guys that can have a chance to step up. They didn't really do so last year. Like their bench guys, they kind of were shaken by not having Love, not having Kyrie to fall back on. So now that I think it was a little bit in Tristan's mind, hey man, I at least got somebody to fall back on, or some people to fall back on in case I can't do anything. And he was just winning reckless, and he was like, I'm just gonna go do it. I mean, even Kevin Love was like getting a little bit more intense than he normally did, looking like Kevin Owens with that beard, So I think everyone stepped up, and then Tristan definitely deserves the credit for stepping up with the boards. Man, I know a lot of people say that's all he does, but I mean, that's all he does, and he did it really well this go-around, and it's one of the major factors that helped them, whether people like it or not. Whether we like it or not, how much he gets paid, he still did what he did. He earned his check at least. Yeah. At least he did that.
He delivered a championship. They figured he was a championship piece that they couldn't lose, and they had to pay up to get the championship, and, hey, mission accomplished. You got the NBA championship. That's what's the most important here. And a quick little shout out, a minor reason why the Cavs won, but like I said earlier with the Kevin Love injury, Richard Jefferson had to come in. A minor shout out to Richard Jefferson being a great veteran for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have LeBron James, and LeBron James has 6 straight final appearances, 7 finals overall, counting that one versus the Spurs in 2007. But people forget Richard Jefferson was in the NBA Finals young in his career with the New Jersey Nets. When Jason Kidd was running the court and stuff like that. And, I'm going to be honest here. I was surprised so bad. Jefferson was still in the league at one point. Like a couple years back, he had like a dunk that got blown away for the Jazz. Like it was blown dead. It was like a really good dunk, but the play was called dead, something like defensive or offensive interference or whatever. I can't remember. But Richard Jefferson, props to him, man. He did a good job of being a good veteran for that team.
Yeah, definitely. Like all the guys who a lot of the guys who were on that team, I didn't even know were there. I seen James Posey standing out there. I see James Jones. I seen Dante Jones.
James Jones, by the way, guys, he's also been to 6 straight finals and just won his 3rd NBA championship.
Everyone keeps forgetting that that's a thing too.
James Jones. Everyone likes to give LeBron credit. Where the fuck is James Jones's credit, man? He's sitting on the bench.
King Jones, man. King Jones. # King Jones. Let's get that pushing on Twitter.
He's like Robert Horry, except he doesn't do shit.
Oh yeah, at least Robert Horry played defense and whatnot. But it's like,
okay, I'll give. So didn't he do something at least in one of the Heat finals? I want to say he did something with Mike Miller.
He hit a 3, kind of like it was like the game after Ray Allen hit the 3. He did like a similar thing, but it was like in the 3rd quarter that put them ahead and basically made them stomp, San Antonio. But it was like James Jones never gets any credit. He never gets any love. That guy has been 57 overall in 2K since he started in the league. Like you got to give the guy a little bit of credit. At least come on. I want to see his new My Team card. At least have a 68 or something. Show the guy some love. Yeah, exactly.
James Jones, he's more there just to be like LeBron's comfort and LeBron's friend, like saying that LeBron James at least knows someone. He's LeBron's friend.
He's just LeBron's road buddy.
After he won and he was crying, James Jones was right there, and LeBron hugged James Jones.
James Jones is a glorified teddy bear, like a security blanket for LeBron James. He's just like, man, I lost into the finals. Like
LeBron James just needs to release some stress. He goes and tells James Jones all this shit. He doesn't tell Kyrie. He doesn't tell Kevin Love. He goes to James Jones.
No, when they were all like, I heard, Kevin Love and LeBron aren't really friends. It's like, I don't care. He's friends with James Jones. James Jones is his big teddy bear. We're officially # King Jones, # Big Teddy Bear Jones. Like, we got to get James Jones into the Hall of Fame because he totally deserves it now. We need to give him the WWE Hall of Fame for the best celebrity hug buddy.
Finals, guys, and he's won 3 championships. I think James Jones is a lock.
Seriously, like you can't deny him now. He's probably one of the greatest of all time. I mean, I thought not since the days of Brian Scalabrine have I seen anyone be any better.
Yeah, exactly. So, but those are the reasons why the Cleveland Cavaliers won. And to the Cleveland fans, much props to you guys because you guys probably didn't think this would happen. Like you guys probably once Game 4 was over. Even with Draymond's suspension, you guys were probably worried. You guys were probably sitting there saying to yourself, God dang, we're screwed. Like, there's no way we're winning this series. And, you guys went up and you guys won. And that's what matters the most. That's what matters the most is that you guys won. You guys showed that you're the best team in the NBA. You guys put on a great performance, and you guys deserve that championship. You guys beat the best team in regular season history in the Golden State Warriors. So next time when we see LeBron playing, don't doubt greatness, appreciate it. Don't doubt greatness, appreciate it. And we'll talk more about LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers future in this show. But we're first going to talk about why did the Golden State Warriors choke, lose, whatever you want to call it. Look, I just want to say this, though, first off. The Warriors are still a great team. I don't care what anyone says to me. I still think they're a great team. I don't care if people want to just shit on them and say, like, oh, no, they're not a great team. I still think they're a great team. I still think they did wonderful things this season, and they still deserve a lot of credit. They shouldn't be shit on just because they lost this finals. I mean, the Jordan memes are funny. I enjoyed the Jordan memes. I think they're funny as hell. But really, to be honest here, I'm good with the Warriors still being considered a really good team. So, yeah. Straight Shooter says Kwame Brown is the greatest. Well, has Kwame Brown been to fucking 6 straight finals? I don't think so. James Jones has.
Hashtag all hail the B scale. Brian Scalabrine, still MVP, still Hall of Fame.
Oh, fucking James Jones, man. How dare you? James Jones is greater than Scalabrine. 3 is greater than 1.
True, very true.
But, so, yeah, anyways, time to talk about why the Warriors lost this series. Now, the Warriors, I don't know, generic, were you choosing the Warriors to win? Because I had the Warriors winning in 6.
I didn't. I was up in the air, honestly. Like, even when I was through the course of the finals, my opinion changed because, I mean, like I said, Cleveland stomped the first 2 teams they played, and when it got down to Thunders versus Warriors, I honestly in my head went, well, they're not gonna even make it to the finals. Unfortunately for me as a fan of the Thunders, they did. I wanted to see the Thunder up against Cleveland, but that's just me. I was just up in the air. I was just hoping that LeBron James wouldn't go out the way he did last year because he had the right things around him to do better, if not win. So I didn't necessarily just give it a foregone conclusion to Golden State at all because I know that and it's been said multiple times before, there's more to the NBA than just jacking up threes. Whether you make them or not is completely irrelevant.
We'll definitely get We'll definitely get
We'll get to that.
Because the thing was, I chose the Warriors in 6, and here's the reason why is because Kevin Love, he's not a good matchup for the Golden State Warriors in the way where like Golden State can kind of control him and kind of take him away from LeBron James like they did in the first two games. And like I said, if Kevin Love never had that concussion, we may be seeing a different tune, and we may have made this video a lot earlier talking about Steph Curry and the Warriors being the greatest show we've ever seen, blah, 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 and everything like that. The Warriors who can stop them, Warriors dynasty and everything like that. But I chose them in 6 mainly because I said Cleveland's definitely going to win one at home, and I don't see LeBron James getting eliminated in 5 games. That's just something that I can't see. I can't see LeBron currently at this state of his career getting eliminated in 5 games. So I definitely gave them 6. I definitely said that they could split the first 2 in Golden State, then split it in Cleveland. No chance game 5 in Golden State. Golden State will just roll on over in Cleveland game 6. That was my prediction of the NBA Finals. That's what I thought was going to go on, but it changed. And Golden State, the reason why they lost this series, one of the big reasons I noticed was the lack of passing that Golden State was doing. Now, everyone's going to be like, well, they were passing a lot in this game. But what I'm talking about is like, if you watched the regular season and you saw how fluid Golden State would pass, you would just feel like that every time they put up a shot, it would go in. This time, they just didn't feel like they were passing well. They weren't really getting their play set. They were going a little bit too fast for their own good, especially later in the series. Some games, they would just come out chucking and stuff like that. I really feel like the lack of passing and the lack of team ball and moving around a lot really, really hurt the Golden State Warriors.
I have to agree with that as Chase gets up to go fan himself off. But Golden State's biggest problem was, and Chase isn't here to hear me, but they got ran over. Wow, Chase actually 100% walked away. Hey, how's everybody doing in the chat there? I'm currently sitting here solo. Chase walked away. How's everybody doing? You all got 9 people in here. Got Street Shooter in here, Platinum, got Devan. You guys are cool. You know, who else is in here? Kadeem, what's up? Chase just walked away and left me hanging holding the show.
I'm back.
All right. I was just saying what's up to the people in the chat. But what I was saying was Golden State was like, they got, like I said before, they got rushed down by the Thunder, and they knew that. I think in the back of their mind, they felt that this was going to be the same thing that happened, is that they were going to run whoever offense on, what's that boy's name, Stephen Curry, and try to rush them down. They wanted to be, the high speed rush down team, kind of like, Toronto, kind of like the Clippers, and that's not their play style. It's smart passes to the open guy when the position is when the timing is right. When they started getting beat down by the Thunder in the conference finals, they were like, we just have to score more points. I think they went into panic mode, honestly. Ever since the round with the Thunders, they were in panic mode to be like, well, these teams are just going to, you got Durant and Westbrook rushing past you and getting into the paint, and you're going up against Kyrie and LeBron, who are going to pretty much do the same thing. They got freaked out, and I mean, honestly, it was to their detriment. They should have just kept playing, took a deep breath, kept playing the kind of ball they've been playing all season, the kind of ball they know how to play. Instead, they were trying to compete and one up the intensity of a team it runs on intensity. Their team doesn't run on intensity. You're not going to catch the Spurs running, high speed offense. That's not them, so they tried to play like not themselves. And that's what inevitably they shot themselves in the foot on that one. They should have just kept playing the game, because when they were playing it earlier in the season, or early, during the season and earlier in the finals, they did fine. And they stomped Cleveland. Cleveland has 77 points. It was a pathetic performance on their end, and Golden State blew them out. But they were like, well, we know LeBron James and Kyrie are going to come in running, so we got to go running too. It's like, no, keep doing what you're doing. Don't go into panic mode, I don't know. They panicked. That was it. That was their biggest thing, is they panicked.
Yeah, no, they definitely panicked for sure. Because, they were just, another big reason why they lost is because their big three didn't really show up all together. They never had games where Curry and Thompson were combined of 60 some odd points, or Curry and Draymond were combined of 60 some odd points. It was just like Curry would have a good game, Thompson would have a good game, and Draymond would have a good game, but not all three together. Not all three together just had tremendous games with each other. Game 4 was probably the closest we'll see of them having a tremendous game with each other, but they just didn't play all three together as the best. They just, all three kind of were just hey, we'll take turns. That's something that hurt the most. And that's why I kind of lumped it into one category instead of oh, well, Steph played bad and Klay played bad and Draymond played bad. No, they're the three top players on this team. Mm-hmm. We were talking about this, earlier in the season. If you guys don't know, back when I had a SoundCloud, I don't now because of paycheck reasons and whatnot. But when I had a SoundCloud, we did the top 20 players of the league and stuff like that. And we were laughing that these people put Draymond at number 18. Me and Generic Minority were like, Draymond Green's a cool glue guy. He's not really a guy that you would put in the top 20 of the league. But he proved it this year that he does deserve to be in the top 20 and stuff like that. Klay Thompson, we both, I think we had him in the 25 range. I think we didn't put him in our top 20s, but we probably did.
He was in our honorable mentions.
Yeah, he was in the honorable mentions. And Stephen Curry, I had him at I had Russell Westbrook. I had a Curry. I had him at 4, and you had him at 3 until I convinced you that Westbrook was better.
Yeah, I had to sit back and watch the tape, man.
I told you, man. I told you Russell Westbrook was better, but Curry obviously blew Westbrook out of the water this season. But really, to be honest here, it was just because with the Warriors, all three of those guys, they have to play good. They have to play good. It's not just the Warriors bench has to play good or stuff like that. You can't have Sean Livingston and Leandro Barbosa and Andre Iguodala keep bailing you out. You're the best players in the league. You're the best players on the team. All right? You are. So you guys, you up every single night. And the thing was, it was Stephen Curry. I don't give a fuck if Stephen Curry wants to dribble around and make crazy-ass three-pointers. That's fine. He's been doing it all season. That's good. But Klay Thompson, Klay Thompson, one of the good things about him is that he's not just some stand-up three-point shooter. No, he can actually drive to the basket. He can get to the lane, and he can make some shots. It was Klay Thompson, I don't know what happened. He just randomly decided, oh, I'm just a three-point shooter now. Wasn't doing anything else that makes Klay Thompson so dangerous. No one's going to bite on the pump fake if after you do the pump fake, you're just going to shoot a stupid three. No one's going to care about that, Klay. You got to dribble down the hole. When you get that ball, pump fake, dribble down the hole. If you don't make it, it's fine. At least you tried a high percentage shot instead of only doing a 3-point shot all the time, man. It literally is like that. He just decided, hey, you know what? Let me just keep on going these 3-point shots. Like, yeah, you get hot. Like Klay Thompson, when he's like Kyrie Irving, when he's hot and he's on fire, that dude's hard to stop.
Mm-hmm.
But really, to be honest here, with Klay Thompson, I don't know what he was doing this series. And Draymond Green, tonight he looked phenomenal. Where was this guy the whole series? Draymond Green can play at this level, but he just didn't play at this level. And that's why the Warriors lost, is because their big three didn't show up to match, Cleveland's big three. I know Kevin Love didn't really do shit this series. It was mostly Kyrie and LeBron, but at least they got 81 points, 82 points between them in one game at least. At least Kyrie showed up. Where was Steph, Klay, and Draymond? All three together showing up. They didn't show up at all. And that's a huge reason why they lost. They needed to show up for these games.
Well, like we were laughing when they said Draymond was the heart and soul of the Golden State Warriors. Turns out it was actually true, and maybe ESPN is a little bit smarter than us. But like you said, not all three of them didn't show up at the same time. I think if all three of them did, things would be different. Obviously, everyone says with the whole Game 5 thing, but let's be honest. I mean, it was like we said earlier, it was the Love being out thing that allowed them to change up their lineup and change and put different people in different spots. So this way Love wasn't being eaten alive. But every like I said, the whole playoffs, since the playoffs started, Steph Curry has been a pedestrian. He's been an onlooker, and even kind of last year too. I mean, when you get to the big grand stages like Steph Curry, yeah, they won it last year, but that was because of the people around him, not necessarily him. During the season, he's fine because, of course, he can win a bunch of games during the season, and he's got good enough legs underneath him to stay healthy and whatnot, and have good stamina for the whole season. But I honestly believe he gets freaked out in the finals, and I think that rubbed off on Klay Thompson, because he's like, it's like, Steph's freaking out, going, I gotta shoot a three, I gotta jack up a three to get us back in the game. And Klay went, they're watching the guy that's supposed to be the best player in the league, their unanimous MVP, kind of freaking out and waffling under the pressure. And Klay thinks, okay, well, if he can't do it, I have to step up and do it, because that's what needs to get done right now. And then you have your perennial all-star 3-point shooter in Steve Kerr as your coach, and you're looking at him thinking, well, Kerr would do that right now if it was him and Jordan. He would jack up a three, but Kerr's a different type of player than them.
Yeah,
he was crazy dead-eye. And then you have even Draymond now is at the point where he's shooting threes, and it's like, you guys all need to play your offense the way like I said earlier, play the way you play, bring it down. They got scared, and I honestly believe it's not even about quote unquote Steph choking. I think honestly he's seriously just afraid when he gets into the playoffs that he's going to fail. So yeah, he jacks up these threes that look crazy, and yeah, he'll make them, which makes him seem a lot better than he actually is, in my opinion. But it's like, he got there last year. I mean, Iggy stepped up for them and he won Finals MVP. You have your 2-time MVP has not been Finals MVP. You have a unanimous MVP not stepping up in a record-breaking season. Everyone's talking about how they're better than the Bulls and blah, 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 and that's all fine. They did great this season. I'm not taking anything away from them. But when it came playoff time, every other single last team stepped up. Their starters stepped up. Their stars stepped up. And Steph and Curry got scared. He got scared.
The only time Stephen Curry looked like Stephen Curry that we saw in the regular season in this playoffs was it? I'm probably gonna get my games mixed up here. Was it Game 5 or Game 4 against Portland, where he came back from injury and he was just going fucking bonkers, and everyone's like, "Holy shit, Steph is back" and everything like that. Like, it was like insane. He was just the best player that day. It was just amazing. But yeah, he just didn't look like himself in the finals, and that's a big reason why the Warriors lost. Is really, to be honest, like one of the main reasons, because they just didn't have their 3 best players show up, and that it is what it is at the end of the day. It is what it is. And the turnovers that they were making, they just weren't playing good Warrior basketball. They weren't playing how the Warriors should play. It's like, a lot of people compare the Warriors, like, people like to compare sports teams and stuff like that. A lot of people compare the Warriors to the Carolina Panthers this year. A lot of people like to compare the Warriors to the New York Giants, as the New England Patriots losing to the New York Giants. I don't see that comparison. What I see the comparison is this. Tell me if you agree with me. I see the Golden State Warriors as the Seattle Seahawks, as, The one year they were kind of like the Cinderella surprise team. Russell Wilson, he's a cute little guy throwing the football. They have a mean defender like Richard Sherman, kind of like the Golden State Warriors last year. They have a cute little guy named Stephen Curry, mean defender Draymond Green and stuff like that. The Seahawks are on an all-time high. They're going to go face the Patriots, one of the prolific teams in the NFL. Tom Brady, arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And, they make some mistakes and they lose that Super Bowl. Same with the Golden State Warriors. They made a lot of huge mistakes and they lost this playoffs, making bad passes, having those bad turnovers. And really, to be honest, I compare the Warriors really closely to the Seattle Seahawks because the Seahawks, a lot of people thought the Seahawks were going to create this dynasty. They went on. They won the first game. They won their first Super Bowl. They're going to another Super Bowl. They're facing off against Tom Brady and the Patriots. We saw what the fuck they did to the Broncos. Oh, what are they going to do to the Patriots? And they end up losing that game. They don't win against the New England Patriots. The Patriots end up winning them. And that's why I compare it because, look, the Seahawks bought one of the greatest of all time in Peyton Manning, and then they go on to face another great of all time in Tom Brady. It's almost comparable because LeBron James, he's considered one of the greatest of all time. So it's almost kind of comparable. And also like LeBron James is kind of like that Broncos team. That Broncos team that bought the Seahawks, let's not forget, they were injured too. Von Miller was hurt. A bunch of other guys were hurt from that Denver Broncos Super Bowl team. So, yeah.
First off, straight shooter. I agree 110% with that. Straight shooter just said in the comments that Richard Jefferson said he's retiring. Wow. So if that's true, then much love and respect to Richard Jefferson.
Yeah, our Jeff got one with the championship, man. He made the finals 3 times in his career. Was a really good finisher in the early portions of his career. Really made Lob City 2.0. First Lob City is the Seattle Supersonics with Gary DeGlove. And then the second one was the New Jersey Nets. And then there was a bunch of other ones. And then the Clippers came out to be Lob City 3.0, in my personal opinion. Like everyone else started to give like the Denver Nuggets and all these other fucking teams names. And then like when the Clippers got Chris Paul, I said, yeah, that's Lob City 3.0. He gave Lob City 2.0 a fun little rub. Him and Vince Carter running down the court is fun. So good for him. Good for Richard Jefferson. He did well.
Yeah, but back to good. Congrats to Richard Jefferson. If he is retiring, sad to see him go. But obviously, when your time to go, it's your time to go. But back to the point you were making. Yes, your comparison to the Seahawks was actually perfect. I honestly wouldn't have even thought of that off the top of my head. But it's even appropriate from like. From so many stands. You got a young guy who's leading the team, another young guy who's leading the defense, and they're like a nice, good-looking, light-skinned kid, and then is like his big dark friend in the background who's kind of cocky and in your face. It's suspiciously appropriate, Chase. Some kind of weird like voodoo with that kind of stuff.
And then Klay Thompson's like he's kind of like Doug Baldwin or something. Like he's there. He can make big plays every once in a while. He's good, but you don't really want to say he's too good because you don't want to overrate him.
Yeah, definitely. I can't tell you who the Marshawn Lynch of that team is, but
Beast Mode would probably be like Andrew Bogut because remember Beast Mode near the end of his career, Beast Mode wasn't kind of like really doing shit, and that's like Bogut in a way. But like when he does shit, you have to like pay attention.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, you know what? That is appropriate. But I like Bogut. I always like Bogut. But even still, it's
Bogut's another reason why they lost because they lost a lot of rim protection with Bogut. But really, to be honest here, like I don't think Bogut was like game breaking. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't like I'm not gonna go out here and be like Andrew Bogut is the sole reason. No, like you still have 3 really good players on your team. Draymond's still a good rim protector himself for being such a small little dude.
I don't know. Bogut is like the one thing they were missing out on, which I personally it annoys me, is he is good at it though. Very similar to Kevin Garnett with his moving screens. It's like he's actually pretty decent at it. They do miss out on that. So that he does take
That's Kevin Garnett. You can scream right there. Whoa! Like Kevin Garnett freaking out every time he does it, acting like he didn't do shit. I know. I'm a Timberwolves fan. I watch his team.
Nah, that's 110% fun, but it's like they do miss out on that. Not having Draymond for Game 5 didn't help them. Obviously, it's not. Andre Iguodala said he's like everybody out here is playing hurt. Nobody's fully healed, so it's not like they, Bogut was going to be some kind of crazy factor into helping them win. I think it might have helped. but the game was so close the whole time, even in situations where you got guys stepped up who you didn't think were going to step up, guys faltered who you didn't think were going to falter. So I think Golden State's like the biggest thing that hurt them is just their big three. Like you said, their big three just not stepping up when the time was right. They sat down and they became pedestrians. You know, Steph Curry was being a pedestrian, in my opinion, throughout most, if not all, of the playoffs. You know, they just got beat, like straight up. You know, you can't. They like Stephen A. Smith said, they got beat. They're straight up. Like you can't pull this whole Steph's hurt. You know, they're all tired. Blah blah. Blah. Like I said, Andre Iguodala said everybody's playing tired. Everybody's hurt. You know, you can't say Bogut's not in the game. So blah blah blah. It's like nobody gave LeBron any love when he didn't have Kyrie and Love playing with him when they were hurt. They just said he failed to go. It's another LeBron James failing in the finals, right? But now all of a sudden everyone's like, oh man, you know, Steph's hurt. You know, I'm telling you, man, if he was doing this, if he was doing that, listen, if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. So you can't say any of those things.
It's like the Spurs. Well, Tony Parker played better. Yeah, but he didn't. That's why they're going to go for Mike Conley this offseason and be ballers.
Yeah.
Who would have thought the Spurs making – But anyways, so I said, who would have thought the Spurs making big moves like this? Like, you thought the Spurs, they built from within, might be signing Mike Conley and stuff like that. I'm surprised the Warriors didn't go back to McAdoo. I thought McAdoo was doing good stuff for them off the bench, like in the later games. I thought he was doing well. I'm surprised they didn't go back to McAdoo near the end. But
nah, they wanted to go to what's his name, Fiesel or Friesel or whatever his name, Easel. Ezeli. That guy's the new Kwame Brown. He's trash.
No, Festus is good. I like Festus. I think he's good. By the way, Harrison Barnes, congratulations on losing some money. Sucks to be you, bro. Sucks to be you, bro. Harrison Barnes. Hey, whatever team wants to pay for Harrison Barnes, good luck to you, man.
Yeah, seriously, like they're not. That guy's got nothing.
Who do you think going to overpay for Harrison? Who thinks signing Harrison Barnes? Who's signing
Harrison Barnes? The Chicago Bulls.
I can see it. I see him in the Bulls. You know who I see Harrison Barnes going to?
Where?
The Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns. I think Phoenix is going to overpay for him.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, he's a former finals, blah blah blah. You know, he was on the team last year, right?
Yeah, he's an NBA.
Yeah. They'll say he's a former champion. That'll be their excuse for signing him, and everyone will be hype, and then they'll fail again because they can never find their new big three because they keep trying to buy guys.
They gave Brandon Knight a lot of money. I'm pretty sure they'll give Harrison Barnes a lot.
I wouldn't give Brandon Knight a chicken salad sandwich. All right.
They gave Tyson Chandler like $52 million. They were like, "Hey, dude, LaMarcus, come with us. We have Tyson Chandler." And LaMarcus Aldridge's like, "Good joke." First.
Like, that's cute how you guys got Tyson Chandler. Yeah, no, why don't you guys go after the rest of the Mavericks roster too while you're at it?
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, time to talk about the future for the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors, and we can talk some other NBA stuff too. I'm pretty sure Generic Minority and I will be back if he's free. Maybe we'll do this live. Would you be down to do a live NBA draft reaction for just the first round?
Oh yeah, I'm down with that.
Okay, so we might be doing a live NBA draft reaction. I don't work Thursday. It all depends because I work at a movie theater. So if friends want to go see a free movie, of course I'm going to go do that. So, So looking at this game, looking at the game itself, the Cleveland Cavaliers, what's going to happen next season is like, there is some question marks to this team. If LeBron James, mission accomplished. You did what you needed to do, and brought home a championship to Cleveland. I can't wait till I'm 40 or 30 before he gets released. I cannot wait to see this documentary about you winning a championship and behind the scenes and everything like that. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be great. Hometown kid beats 73-9. Awesome. But the thing is, what I look at this is like, well, does LeBron James have any incentive to stay? Will he stay in Cleveland? Does he need to stay in Cleveland? Can he go anywhere else and be okay? Because, like, he did what he needed to do. He won the championship in Cleveland. He's a 3-time champion. No one thought LeBron was going to get number 3 this year, and he got it. He got number 3. He got number 3. So where do you see LeBron going from here? Where do you see LeBron moving on forward? Because really, to be honest here, I feel like he can go anywhere. I don't care if he stays in Cleveland or not to create a dynasty, because I don't think Cleveland will become a dynasty. I think they definitely have, if LeBron stays for another 4 years, they definitely have 1, maybe 2 championships left in them. But I still think OKC will finally get their shit together because I don't think Durant's leaving unless the Celtics make some crazy fucking moves.
I was actually going to say unless the Raptors start making some serious moves. I love the idea of seeing Durant on the Raptors.
Yeah, like the Raptors too, and the Spurs. Like everyone says, "Oh, well, the Spurs lost to the Thunder." You still never can count out the Spurs. Like people have been trying to ride out the Spurs since 2008, and these Spurs keep coming back, and they're just like, "We're here to stay." They've been to the finals the last 4 years. They've won at least like one of the championships. Like they're good. Like they have good odds of making the championship. So it's like really hard. The Warriors, who we'll get to, they're still a good team. So with LeBron James, do you see him coming back to Cleveland? If so, is it a one-year deal again? Because don't forget, LeBron James, he may be holding out just to become the highest paid player in the NBA because Stephen Curry is going to be a free agent next season. Maybe he's waiting for Stephen Curry's deal. Maybe he's going to wait to see what Durant does. Because I think if I'm LeBron James, I'm definitely putting my foot down because LeBron James, he's lost a lot of money in his NBA playing career. He took a huge pay cut to go play with the Big Three in Miami. He only made $50 million. I know everyone's like, only $50 million. And LeBron covers that up with sponsorships. But also LeBron James only signed a $20 million for this year. If you're LeBron James, he's making that big bucks. I don't care what anyone says. He still has a good 6 years left in him. Mm-hmm. 6 years being the highest paid athlete, that's enticing. There's teams out there who are willing to open up that checkbook and pay the luxury tax to want a LeBron James to be on that team, for LeBron James to be there. And LeBron James, I feel like he's a free man now. I feel like he can go do whatever he wants. Like, sure, is LeBron James's legacy in Cleveland going to be as beautiful and it's going to be a great story? Like, no, he already tarnished it by going into Miami. But at the end of the day, he did what he needed to do. He did what he accomplished. He promised to bring Cleveland a championship, and he did. I think Cleveland's fine with just this one championship. I think Cleveland can live off the next 10 years and be fine with this one championship. Mm-hmm. So can LeBron James go anywhere else? Do you see LeBron James going anywhere else? Because he is a free agent. He's going to opt out of this contract. If anyone doesn't think he's going to opt out, you're absolutely ridiculous. He's opting out.
Like you said, he's a free man. Mm-hmm. So he did exactly what he said he was going to do. He even said as much. He said, I did it. I did exactly what I said I was going to do. The backstage interview with him in the locker room. He's free to go wherever he so pleases. Honestly, there's not a team in the league that would not pick up LeBron James other than, a team that already has a small forward like the Thunder or something like that. And even if
teams that are not going to pick up LeBron James, teams with Kevin Durant and teams with young wings, like whoever drafts Ben Simmons or Andrew Wiggins, for example, of my T-Wolves, like, you're fine with that.
Yeah. I honestly, I couldn't imagine, of course, I want him to go to the Knicks, but we can't do that because we got freaking Carmelo.
But LeBron and Melo are friends. They're best buddies.
Yeah, they don't. I would love to see that. Like, Melo switching over to the two.
Good form. I know this is high conspiracy talk and won't happen, but LeBron James talked about he wants to play with his best friends. Dwayne Wade's a free agent. Porzingis, he's an interesting trade chip. Hear me out here. I know it's not going to happen, but what if Chris Paul says, Doc, you're an idiot. I hate you. Trade me to the Knicks. And then Doc Rivers was like, whoa, time out. And he's like, no, I'm tired of your bad coaching. I want to go somewhere else. So Chris Paul, trade Porzingis for Chris Paul. And then later on, Melo's like, hey, I don't know if you can reconstruct contracts like in the NFL, but let's reconstruct my deal, okay? We'll reconstruct it. And then all of a sudden, Dwayne Wade and LeBron are like, hey, buddy. And then they go to New York, and then you have a big four there.
I honestly, because I just want to see these guys win a championship, I would love for him to go to the Rockets because I want Dwight Howard to get one because I feel like he really deserves it.
Dwight Howard might be going to Orlando or Atlanta.
If he go wherever Dwight Howard goes, I want LeBron to follow because I would like the concept of those two being together on a team and hopefully Dwight Howard.
I think Dwight Howard has ruined his rep with a lot of players.
How so?
The Kobe situation and then the James Harden situation.
Yeah, he has. He has.
And it's not like, and Dwight Howard is not a player that LeBron likes playing with. Like,
True.
Here's the thing. LeBron will like Dwight Howard for defensive purposes. But offensively, he's just Tristan Thompson, but maybe a little bit better. He's better than
I even mark him as even because of the injuries and whatnot. He's not the same player.
Yeah. But the thing is, he's Tristan Thompson, but just a little bit better on defense and a better rebounder than Tristan Thompson. And the thing is, if you're LeBron James and you're sitting here and you're looking at it, you don't want to play with them because LeBron James likes playing with guys that stretch the floor for him. Dwight Howard is just going to be some big dude clogging up the paint for LeBron James.
Pretty much.
Dwight Howard doesn't like setting picks or anything like that. So that's why I don't think Dwight Howard and LeBron James can work unless like LeBron James is with someone and Dwight Howard can understand being a third option. But I don't think Dwight is mature enough to understand that he's just a third option at best in the game today. You know, he's not going to be the same Dwight Howard that was smiling and fun to watch with the Magic in 2009 and 2010 and stuff like that. Yeah. So, you know,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know where LeBron goes. I assume he does. I also assume he opts out. He doesn't have anything else to prove. Like, and the thing is, the only reason why I could see him staying is because of, and I don't think it'll happen because he's not one of those guys who falls for this. Is pressure from people being like, oh, he's just leaving again, blah, blah, blah. But his whole point, and even the people with Cleveland, no, he's been signing these 1-year deals in priming himself to win this championship. Now he's got it. Now he can move on. Now Cleveland can open up some cap space to get other pieces around and build around Kyrie, like which they should be doing or were doing beforehand, you know? And yes, they spent a lot of money on LeBron. Yes, they changed up their staffing and things like that. But you have Tyrone Lue now who clearly knows what he's doing at head coach, or at least can respond to pressure. I think it's actually not too bad for Cleveland if LeBron leaves, you know, from a financial standpoint, that you drop this $20 million contract that you can open up to get, even though they spent a lot on Tristan and Love and whatnot. But you open up a little bit more flexibility for them. I mean, you do it kind of like how Miami did, where it's like they're actually still a decent team even without LeBron because they were able to pull in a lot of pieces that are halfway decent people or halfway decent players. So I see LeBron leaving. I don't know what he's going to do, what team he's going to go to. I honestly hope it's something weird and goofy like the Lakers, because you know how 2K likes to roll. Wherever he leaves Cleveland, he always goes to the Lakers or he goes to Boston or something like that.
Yeah, he always goes to Boston. It's always weird how 2K does that. He's always on the – he either stays in Cleveland for me or he goes to Boston.
I always get him. He goes to the Lakers or he goes to Boston. He never, ever stays with Cleveland.
Dude, you won't beat Kevin Durant for MVP. He always wins MVP for me, man.
He wins MVP every single year. The only time he didn't win, it was Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, for me, won MVP and defensive, and that was the year he was also most improved. And I'm like, I'm just done with you. I'm done out of this game. Where are the fake, you know, new add-on players from the draft coming in?
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know where LeBron goes. I mean, honestly, if they're not going to get Kevin Durant, I would love to see him go to the Raptors because I think that they could use him there, and that they'd be killing it, and he gets to hang out with Drake. So, you know, that's always going to be fun to see. I mean, Drake's not playing, but I wouldn't mind seeing LeBron in an OVO Raptors jersey.
Yeah, why not? Why not? So that's something to be looking at if you're a Cleveland fan. Obviously, J.R. Smith, I think he's also a free agent too. Like, if I were LeBron, my strategy is I have a good thing going right now. You know, people are starting to, you know, there's a LeBron hater still, but I think people are more turning towards liking LeBron a lot more. You know, he's no longer that villainous and stuff like that. So I feel LeBron James stays in Cleveland for one more year. He signs that another 1-year deal. He opts out, signs another 1-year deal. That's worth a little bit more than what he's being paid. I feel like they go after Jamal Crawford this offseason. I feel Crawford would be a great piece for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think he's a much more improved J.R. Smith, and I feel Crawford would like that. He doesn't have to come off the bench. Yep. You know, maybe he'll be a starter there. I definitely think Joe Johnson, if Miami can't get a deal with him, he's another guy that they might be looking to bring in. I think Joe Johnson would be perfect with what LeBron James wants to do. You know, Joe Johnson.
Did Hassan Whiteside re-sign with Miami, or is he still up?
No, it's still up. It's still up in the air. They'll have a certain amount of time to resign him. I see Whiteside leaving most likely, though.
I do too.
And stuff like
I think they should chase after Whiteside. If they whatever team he goes to, they should try to trade for him.
They don't have that type of money because, like, if they sign Whiteside, then they're not going to be able to keep LeBron for one more year. So that's the thing that we have to look at there too. Because, like, if you're Cleveland, you're looking to keep LeBron there for ever, as long as you can, because
Yeah.
you know he can bring you championships. So I think this year we won't see much changes, but I'm definitely going to bank that Jamal Crawford signing with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like if he signs back with the Clippers, I don't know what the fuck Jamal Crawford's thinking.
Nah,
I think that
he's crazy.
I think he would be perfect with the LeBron team. I think he's just up the alley of what LeBron likes to see in his players.
Yeah, I'm definitely down with that idea. Jamal Crawford signing, maybe Joe Johnson. I like Iman Shumpert as a person. He's a terrible rapper and an okay player, decent defender, but he's not really doing much except for having goofy hair. So I would love to see Jamal Crawford. I'm a huge Jamal Crawford fan because of my last name, and I used to have a Crawford jersey when he played for the Knicks because, of course, why wouldn't I? But yeah, definitely. They have a lot of options on pieces that they could bring in, and obviously, if LeBron stays, people are going to want to play alongside LeBron because it's LeBron James. So I don't know, man. I hope Cleveland for the best. They'll be, even if LeBron were to just straight up leave, I think they could still probably make the playoffs. The East is kind of weak on the teams as a whole. Teams tend to flake and fall apart near the end of the year. Of course, you always have the Knicks to somehow manage to go like 1-27 the first half of the season. So whatever those guys do, I'm excited. I'm excited to see, but I don't think like you said, there's not gonna be much change, at least not on the Cleveland front. Other teams are going straight down the toilet. For any Bulls fans, you're losing everybody.
I hope we don't give up Zach LaVine though. Yeah. So, anyways,
dude.
No LaVine. I want to keep my team together. I'm happy with my team. Draft Chris Dunn or Buddy Hield, whatever old idiot you want. Draft in Minnesota and love them. So, anyways, when it comes down to the Golden State Warriors, they do have some key pieces up. I guess you can consider them key pieces. Festus Ezeli, their young center, and Harrison Barnes. It's pretty much Harrison Barnes is gone. I don't see Harrison Barnes wanting to stay for Golden State. I think they're going to lowball him anyways. And honestly, I think there's better small forwards for them to chase after. I heard the Durant rumor. If that fucking happens, that'd be the craziest shit that have ever happened in my life. Next to the Big Three being formed, that's some 2K shit right there. But I just don't see Harrison Barnes staying. I think Ezeli, he's going to go to like Milwaukee or something. Like he's going to go to some stupid team where you're just like, why is he going there? Who cares?
He's going to the Jazz for sure. Him and Barnes.
Yeah, the Jazz need more fucking idiot centers. Not like they have enough, and the Stifle Tower and shit like that. But okay,
I literally have never heard that nickname for those two before, and I love it.
What, Rudy Gobert? You never heard people call him the Stifle Tower?
No.
Oh yeah,
never heard it.
People call him that all the time. They call him the Stifle Tower.
I have not heard it because I don't follow them that closely. I just know that I heard that he's basically like a younger JaVale McGee, where he's constantly like on shacking a fool, just looking like sitting there mouth agape, getting beat. He doesn't
really what's it called? He doesn't really have like shacking the full moments. He blocks people. He just gets dunked on a lot.
God, he's gonna be the new Sean Bradley.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't hear the nickname Stifle Tower.
Never. I don't follow the Jazz at all. Like I've never heard the nickname. I've never even watched a game with the Utah Jazz. At least not recently. Not since Boozer left.
Have you heard of Will the Thrill Barton?
No.
Will Barton. He's Thrill.
It's you thinking them up, right? Like it's just strictly you, and then you push them on social media, and everyone goes, "Well, I mean, if Chase is saying it, I guess we can all say it." And that's one of those things where kind of like you didn't put your own like watermark on it, so it gets lost in the shuffle, and then everyone says it. I honestly believe you make these up.
No, everyone calls him Will the Thrill. Charles Barkley was making fun of him. Okay. So these are nicknames. I'm gonna name these nicknames because really, to be honest, the Golden State Warriors are gonna be fine. They'll be back in the playoffs, and they will either beat the Spurs or lose to the Spurs, or beat the Thunder or lose to the Thunder. Western Conference ain't changing unless the Clippers get their shit together. All right, so I'm gonna name some. We're gonna end this off, and I'm gonna name some NBA playoff, or not NBA playoff, NBA players' nicknames, and see if he can guess who these are. So, do you know who Dougie McBuckets is?
No.
That's Doug McDermott, swing man of the Chicago Bulls.
Okay.
Yeah. What about the Gold Dragon? Do you know who the Gold Dragon is?
Ricky Steamboat.
No, Goran Dragic.
You know what? That's like that. If you've ever seen Anacondas, where they have the one guy's name is Bill Johnson, and everyone calls him Jin Sun because they're all there in Indonesia, and he's the only white guy. That's what that sounds like.
What about ISO Joe?
It can't be Joe Johnson.
Yeah, it is Joe Johnson.
Oh, okay.
You're correct on that one. That is Joe Johnson for you. Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse. Oh my god, I actually know that one. But I can't think of it. Come on. I know it. Nah, you're gonna have to tell me.
Jameer Nelson. He plays with Will the Thrill Parton. It's the Slim Reaper.
The Slim Reaper. Jesus Christ. That sounds like the nickname of a guy who played rugby with me. The Slim Reaper? I'm trying to think of who's slim in the league other than Porzingis. No, I can't tell you.
Kevin Durant.
Really?
Yeah, but he doesn't like that nickname, so they just went back to
Durantula. Yeah, that's.
But I like calling him Slim Reaper. So,
that sounds like an Anthony Davis nickname, other than the brow.
Do you know who the Brazilian Blur is?
Nene.
No, it's Leandro Barbosa.
He's not really that fast.
He used to be.
Yeah,
the Red Rocket. Do you know who the Red Rocket is?
The Red Rocket. Jeez. My heart wants to say Brian Scalabrine, but everyone knows he's the White Mamba.
It's actually Matt Bonner of the San Antonio Spurs.
It shows how little I know about like catchy nicknames. Like even my name's stupid, generic minority.
What about the Greek Freak? You gotta know who the Greek Freak is.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I don't know his name. He plays for Milwaukee.
Yeah, well, you got it close. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, that's it. I can't pronounce that for the life of me.
Mr. 540. I'm not making this up. This is his nickname. This is on fucking NBA.com.
Mr. 540, and this is a nickname for an NBA player, not a wrestler.
Yes, this is a nickname for an NBA player, Mr. 540.
What does the 540 even mean? You got to give me a hint. Don't tell me. I need a hint.
540 dunks, like he does 540 dunks.
He does 540 dunks. What is Air up there from and one playing in the NBA now? I don't know. 540 is that Gerald Green?
No, it's actually Victor Oladipo.
Oh, my people, Oladipo. All right, I got you.
Yeah, Oladipo. Psycho T. You gotta know this. You gotta know who Psycho T is.
No, Tracy McGrady.
No, Psycho T is Tyler Hansborough.
Tyler Hansborough.
Yeah,
that guy's still alive.
Yeah, he's still in the league.
He's in Bobcats, right?
Yeah, he's on the Bobcats. Hornets, no longer the Bobcats. Rest in peace.
Well, yeah. I still call you Chase Oliver 68, so I'll let you know how much I care about like the new names.
Yeah, I'm already getting shit on my SummerSlam review. All these are SummerSlam Money in the Bank review. People are saying I'm sweaty and shit. Well, yeah, no shit. Out of my room.
Your room is full. Like people can see that, right? Like people can see you have like newspaper clippings on your wall, like a serial killer, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and people are like, I don't know why you're sweating. He was just hype about the playoffs and the pay-per-view because the pay-per-view was actually decent at the end. I'm waiting to hear more of these nicknames. They're all official, like on a website and whatnot. Is there any other player nicknamed like Baby Daddy or Mr. 420?
All right, then. So, okay, so you're all right. So this is another nickname. You're not going to guess who this guy is. He's not even in the league. But Sauce Castile.
Sauce Castile? That's a nickname?
Yeah, Sauce Castile.
Sauce Castile? That what's that dude's name? Sasha Vojaric or whatever his name was? Who was that?
Nick Stauskas, formerly of the Philadelphia 76ers.
Jesus Christ. No, they're not getting that. I don't get any one of these people's nicknames. I don't even know where these nicknames come from. It's all gibberish to me. Like, Durantula, fine. King James, fine. I can't handle any of the other ones.
What about the Polish Hammer?
I've heard the name, but I don't know who it is.
It's actually Marcin Gortat. Yeah,
Polish?
And I'm trying to find other nicknames that you wouldn't know. because like the rest are probably people you know, like the Big Ticket, Black Mamba, Mr. Fundamental, Insanity, The Truth,
yeah, Paul Pierce,
Manimal. So yeah, so those are nicknames. Thank you, NBA.com.
Thank you for that NBA.com. Thank you for saying Draymond Green is the heart and soul and the top whatever 20th player in the league, and then giving out nicknames. Apparently, those are appropriate. ESPN knows what they're talking about, or SportsCenter, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, guys, thank you all for tuning into this one. You'll see Generic Minority and I back together as we will be discussing the NBA draft live for the first round. And sorry if I don't know all these idiot prospect names and stuff like that, but we'll be definitely here to watch the NBA draft and give our live reactions. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed this show. Leave a like, subscribe, check out my wrestling reviews if you're interested, and have yourself a good one. Peace.